Multiplayer games are just less fun when there's a lot of cheaters. Which is unfortunate because as time has passed, cheating has not only become easier, but because of this, it's become more widespread. So why do people do it? What motivates a cheater in a video game, a place that is entirely virtual and has no consequence, no means of getting ahead in real life? Hi folks, it's Falcon, and today on gameranx we ask the question, why do some gamers like to hack or cheat in video games? So when we're talking about cheating in video games, there's a lot of directions we could go in. We could easily describe several emotions, several wants, several needs, and ascribe some motive for cheating to each of them. But I think the best way to understand it is in fact a framework that Steamworks put out in a presentation, as they are actually the ones who are constantly dealing with this. So they describe several different types of cheats. Exploits, where some glitch or inherent thing about the game is of course exploited. Automation, where a script or program does the thing for you. Overlays, which are often things that reveal where players are on the map, show things about the game that you're not supposed to see, etc., etc. And state manipulation, which takes either lag or stuff that's stored in RAM and manipulates it. So, keeping in mind the types of cheats that are out there, let's talk about the types of cheaters. Now, our most obvious type of cheater is what Steamworks calls casuals. These are people who found the game too difficult, there wasn't a setting to make the game easier, and they decided to themselves, I'm going to make it easier. These types of cheaters you're probably going to see automation and overlays from the most on account they're the easiest to use, they're usually just something you install, and they give you either an unfair amount of information, or they literally play the game for you, like an aimbot, for instance. I mentioned these guys first because they're the ones that cheat the most. They're not necessarily there to wreck the game for anybody, but they feel like they lose just a little too consistently and can't improve their skills at a rate they're satisfied with. The game basically makes these people feel inadequate, and I don't know that there's really any other way to put it than that. Now, from casuals, we move into a couple of different areas. There's this thing called a follower. A follower will have been playing a game for a long time and just see how rampant the cheating is. They'll look around, see that the company isn't doing anything to clean up the game, isn't doing anything to enforce the rules, and most importantly, isn't doing anything to make their experience any better inside the game, so they kind of figure if you can't beat them, join them. This kind of cheater comes around from curating a culture of apathy, or the developer/publisher being apathetic themselves. It's not a good look, and it does end up causing a lot of cheating. So to avoid this kind of cheater becoming a big thing, it's really important that developers actually care about cheating. A type of cheater that is kind of like a follower in some ways is the Vigilante. Now, you're probably not going to see a lot of Vigilantes on servers that don't have a particularly large amount of cheating, i.e. servers where a lot of people will inevitably become, or have already become, follower cheaters. When the environment is more or less just full of cheating, somebody is eventually going to feel wronged to the point where they want to seek out revenge. And when somebody does that in the environment of a video game where cheating has run rampant, it's pretty understandable that they would want to do it by cheating back at the offending party, or perhaps simply just back at the game. As is the case with a sort of curated apathetic culture that creates followers, it may be that the Vigilante sees the fact that the game has gotten like that and wants to exert revenge on the developer/publisher. When something goes wrong in a game and the developer or publisher is clearly to blame, almost all of us wish we could do something about that, and some people say, well, I guess I'll just cheat and make the game unbearable. Then maybe they will get the message. That's not to say they're all trying to put a message out there. Again, they may simply be trying to hunt down the person that cheated against them and make their life a living hell. I don't know. If this type of person gets a taste for sadism, they may become a bit of a griefer too. Now again, griefing in revenge for cheating at them, I can at least understand it. I don't know that I would condone it personally, but I get it. You don't want to let the cheating stand, and you want to make the offending player basically buzz off. Get out of here, dude. Griefers, either by finding that they like this element of the game more than the real game, or maybe just always liked games in which they were allowed to punish other players. You know, like I said, get a bit of a streak of the sadism going. Griefers just kinda want to watch the world burn. When they get into cheating, you're looking more along the lines of state manipulation and exploits, in which they literally just make other people playing the game throw their hands up in confusion, frustration, and most likely irritation, because the game they're trying to have fun in is not fun for some reason. With state manipulation, it's often difficult to even tell why you're having some problem in the game. It may just look like something's going weird. Same goes for exploits, and if someone is using these types of cheats just to make your game worse, it may just appear like the game is having server problems or isn't working. If you type into the chat, anybody else having this problem with the game? Oh, my game is broken. Something's up with the game. They're sitting in their house laughing very hard. Got 'em, they say. Got 'em good. Now, these are all different reasons somebody might cheat, but for me, probably the most interesting isn't the person just trying to play the game in a manner that looks decent, the person trying to punish the world for cheating at them, or simply cheating because that's the culture, or even the sadist griefing everybody. For me, the most interesting is what the Steamworks team calls achievers. People who need to win at all costs. And I'll tell you why they're the most interesting to me. It's hard for me to imagine thinking that I was good at a game that I cheated to win. However, that's explicitly what they're doing it for. They're explicitly trying to complete everything, to achieve everything, to maybe get first place or set some form of record, while trying to squeak by with cheats enabled. That's strange. Because once you've done that, A, if somebody finds out, it nullifies all of that stuff, and B, the cheater didn't really do it. I like knowing that I did something. To me, a part of this is just lying to yourself. And to me, that's the most interesting part about it. A Reddit user by the name of Lehigh Synth posted to Reddit why they believe that there are more Chinese hackers than anywhere else. The post talks about a choice between vanity and honor. Apparently, there's a saying in China for a child from another family, which, according to him, represents an ideal kid that your family holds up as the example you should be following. It's essentially pressure to be incredible, to be better than everyone else, and leads people to want to take other, easier routes to appear that way, hence vanity. The next thing this post brings up is piracy. In China, there is a significant amount of piracy compared to basically any Western country, because it was essentially the only way to play most PC games for quite a long time. Steam didn't exist there, and because a lot of people hacked games in order to play them, make them usable, a lot of people became pretty acquainted with code. The third and final reason this post gave was that during the past decade, China saw a huge boom in internet development. As you may know, with booms, oftentimes they lead to bubbles, and it did. The Chinese education system educated lots of new programmers, and a lot of them didn't get hired because there wasn't a need for them when that bubble burst. So those people tend to either be unemployed or have not great jobs, and during their off time, they enjoy themselves by playing games that they have more than enough knowledge to hack. Essentially, China has created conditions that are perfect for an abundance of game hacking. So when the fact comes up that 99% of PUBG's banned cheaters are from China, now you know why. None of these other cheaters we're talking about are really particularly dishonest with themselves. In the case of casuals, followers, and vigilantes, they're not trying to achieve anything, they're just basically trying to fit in. The vigilantes are trying to punish for making it so that they have to fit in by cheating. It's actually fairly honest. Griefers are just jerks. They're not pretending anything. But achievers, they're looking at themselves and saying, "Yep, I won. Good for me, right?" Now, I'm sure there are people with other reasons for cheating, but I'm willing to bet if you've cheated, it's for a reason at least related to one of these types of cheaters. So if you're a cheater, what kind are you? If not, what kind do you think you would be? Leave us a comment, let us know, and if you like this video, don't forget to click the like button. If you're not subscribed, now's a great time to do so. We upload brand new videos every day of the week, and the best way to see them first is, of course, a subscription. As always, we thank you very much for watching this video. I'm Falcon. You can follow me on Twitter at Falcon the Hero, and we'll see you next time right here on gameranx.